If you're a woman of a certain age, you may be asking yourself this question: is this all there is? You may find that you're not where you thought you'd be by this point in your life, that you haven't done, experienced, or achieved all the things that you thought you would when you were younger. And now you're at the point where you're wondering if it's too late for you. Are you too old? Is it too late? Is there anything you can do to make things better? And then the toughest question of all: are my best days already behind me? If we've not previously met, I'm Shelley from Taming Frenzy. A number of years ago, I found myself at a truly low point in my life. I'd been teaching for a number of years. I had taught a variety of grade levels and subjects. I had won an award from an organization that I truly valued. My kids were still young and at home, but I really honestly felt like my best years might already be behind me. But I also knew that at that age, there were lots and lots of years still out in front of me. And I knew that I was too young to be feeling so old and so stagnant. I knew that it was obviously time for me to make some kind of a change. But even though I knew that I seriously was in need of a change, I was also scared. What if the best years of my life really were behind me? What if there were no more professional or personal challenges waiting for me? And I was very frustrated with myself because I did not know how to change my particular situation. And then I came across a book that changed my life. Now, I realize that sounds a little bit melodramatic, but it's true, so hear me out. The name of the book was Work Left Undone: Choices and Compromise of Talented Females, and it was written by Sally Reese. Now, I was already familiar with the work of Sally Reese from journal articles that I had read and from hearing her speak at different conferences. I was already a fan. But when I began reading the book, I honestly felt like she was talking directly to me. It turns out that many women don't really come into their own until later in life because of the traditional path that they have chosen to take. And we might as well just be honest and admit it. Raising a family takes a lot of work. It often requires us to make choices and to make compromises. And now, do not get me wrong. I love and adore my family. I would stand in front of a train or fight a bear for any one of them. I have absolutely no regrets for my choices. But I found it interesting that the women that she studied and talked about in this book did not gain the eminence that they were known for until much later in their life. That gave me a lot of hope. For example, did you know Toni Morrison won her Pulitzer at the age of 56 and won the Nobel Prize in Literature at the age of 62? Judi Dench was 61 years old when she took the role of M in the James Bond movies, and while she had been acting for years before, that particular role pretty much made her a household name. Julia Child was 51 when she published her cookbook that led to the TV series that she had for years. Grandma Moses did not begin painting until she was 78 years old. Laura Ingalls Wilder was 65 years old when she wrote the first Little House on the Prairie book. Gladys Burrill had polio when she was a child and did not become active until up in her 40s, and then she ran her very first marathon at the age, get this, of 92. Lorna Page published her very first novel at the age of 93. Karen Blixen, who wrote under a pseudonym, wrote the book Out of Africa, which was later turned into a movie starring Meryl Streep and Robert Redford. She wrote that when she was 52. Evelyn Gregory became a flight attendant at the age of 71, fulfilling a lifelong dream. Diana Nyad became the first woman to swim from Florida to Cuba without a shark cage at the age of 64. And one of my all-time favorites, Betty White, although she had been acting for years, she took the role of Rose in The Golden Girls at the age of 51, and of course then the rest of her life she was even more famous and more in demand than she had ever been. The book helped me realize that I wasn't done and washed up and finished at the age of 39, which, looking back now from my age, makes me feel a little silly to realize that I felt that way at such a young age. But there have been a couple of other points in my life when I had to do some serious reevaluating of what I wanted to do on the path forward. And each time I have been at one of those points, I've remembered this book and the lessons that I learned from it. And I've been reminded that it's never too late. We're not too old. So if you're at the point of reevaluating your life, and you've wondered whether you're too old, whether you're too late to the party, or whether your best years are in the past and are already done, let me assure you, they're not. It's never too late to start a new course. It's never too late to start out on a new path. It's never too late to change your life and pursue goals and dreams that you have had. Some of those women who made those great contributions may have asked themselves the very same questions that I asked myself and that you may be asking yourself, and then they went on to make some pretty amazing contributions. There is no reason why your next chapter can't be every bit as amazing and exciting and as fulfilling as any other chapter has been. So what's stopping you? I hope that you'll watch the other videos in this series on charting a new course. There are exciting possibilities and opportunities just waiting for you around the next bend if you decide to pursue them. And I'd love to hear what they are. You can visit me over at tamingfrenzy.com or leave me a comment below. I truly would like to know what's next for you. So until next time, let's all tame some frenzy.